timepiece. So if I can go ahead and call this meeting to order, the first item. Next item, establishment of quorum, roll call. I can start at this end.
Cesar Peña Jr. present.
Benito Hernandez present.
Alexandra Flores present.
Javier Ramirez present.
Mayor Rick Guerrero present. I do declare a full and complete quorum. Next item, invocation and pledge. I believe,
Dear Lord, Heavenly Father, please watch over us as we make important decisions for our community, and please watch over our public servants who watch over the members of our community, and bless us with good health, clothes on our backs, and food on our table. Thank you for all your blessings. In your name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for the prayer, Commissioner Flores. Excellent. Next item, certified posting agenda. Jeanette?
Yes, Mr. Mayor and council members, the agenda was duly posted as required by state law, at least 72 hours prior to the start of the meeting.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for everything you do as well. That and everything else, ma'am. Public comments, item number 5, I believe we do have, I was approached with a public comment from Greg Riggs from Lamplighter Avenue, and the topic is bullying and harassment around an elderly neighborhood. So you can make your way up, Greg, and you'll have 3 minutes? 3 minutes. We'll go ahead and give you 3 minutes, and we're not to answer, just to say we're going to hear you out, and then once you let us know what's going on, we'll send somebody over to you here.
All right.
Either later on today or tomorrow morning.
You know, we've got it's an elderly community, and we've got one individual that is constantly harassing, bullying, trying to run people down their car, encroaching their property, you're yelling and screaming at them. And they're afraid, they're so afraid that they don't want to call the police because it puts a target on their back and she gets worse. Because that's what she's done with everybody that's called on her. And we're just trying to find some avenue that we can do to get it stopped. We have a lawyer working on things, but it's, you know, something we can do as a community to try to get it under control.
Okay. Anything else, sir? Thank you for...
Well, other than going into a lot of details, because it's been going on a long time. But it's, you know, just some kind of idea of what we can do as a community to try to get it under control.
Okay. All right. Thank you for coming up and speaking, and your courage as well, sir. And if we can, we know that Lamplighter has its own rules and regulations, but they are a part of the city. We annexed Lamplighter about 5 years ago, I'm going to say. And if and when the time comes, we will do everything we possibly can to help bring this to a closure, right, and have a peaceful community. So as soon as you're done, I believe we have some employees here that can talk to you a little bit more. If you're okay with that.
Yeah, fine.
Private, and then maybe we can knock this one out.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for speaking up. Any other that was all we got? Okay. So we can get sure. Thank you. Next item, acknowledgements and recognition. So we're gonna press on of our acknowledgements and recognitions. And item 6.1 brings forth a recognition of our baseball 6U, 9U, and 9U all-star teams. So I believe that Mr. Lugo is lining them up as we speak.
I think the 9 percent come up first, or will you let us know?
Okay. So I named them both, and then we'll just go ahead and. So those are for the 9U. So we're gonna have somewhat of a packed house here for a little while. So just be patient with us.
The box says 9U, yeah.
So we can
So y'all can hurry up.
get them out the back door to the park.
It's a year-round thing.
Yeah, so those teams.
Yes, it is. Hey, okay, so that was it. I don't have anything to read other than,
Like maybe Mr. Lugo has it. Lugo's usually the one that
yes, he'll
shares, ¿verdad?
read it and then we'll go ahead and we'll get down there and do what we normally do. Yeah.
Picture.
Ya pegaron un home run.
¿Se le pegaron?
Somebody just hit a home run.
Las mías no, no sé. Se ve, me va a costar quitar el pidiéndome.
Mr. Lugo.
Ready? Mayor, City Council, Robert Lugo, Parks Director. We're here to recognize our 9 and under All-Star team from this past season, the Spring League. They competed in the 9 and under, and they had 2 invitational tournaments. There were practice tournaments for everybody. And the first one, they were playing in Elsa, but they were playing with the 10 and under because they wanted to have some games. And they came in first anyways in Elsa. The second invitational was played in FAR, and they came in second place. And then the South Zone, where now they have to place or win it to advance, they had to come in first in Portland, Texas, and they were the champions. So they qualified to the World Series, and this year it was called the International World Series in Vacaville, California. So they flew, I believe, from Houston, or they flew from Houston to California. They were there for about 6 or 7 days, and if I'm not mistaken, they won 2 and lost 2. So there was like 8, 10 teams out there. There's some good news. They're coming back as 10 and under this spring. So there's no pressure, but they should be there again. Let's go ahead and if the council can give out some of their plaques to the players, and then say a few words afterwards.
You call out the names?
Yes, sir, I will. Yeah, this group has been together like since they were four and under, so they've been here for a while. Ready? Okay, let's start with Ivan Rodriguez. Ivan Rodriguez. Is it Rodriguez? Iliam Rodriguez. Andrés Acosta. Iván Ramírez. Evan Ramírez. Derry Ochoa. Emiliano Zúñiga. Alessandro Cantú. Isaac Perez. And there was 3 players, they couldn't make it. Tyus Martinez, Riley Ayala, 4. Adrian Flores, and Kevin Perez. Our coaches were head coach Lupe Rodriguez, Edwin Zúñiga, and Gervasio Acosta. So this was a 9 and under Palmy All-Star team that advanced to the World Series in California. Mayor, Mayor, say a few words? Yeah, they can stay. You want to say a few words? The other ones, yeah. You're ready. Well, they need to go play, they're getting ready to go play flag football, so that's why, yeah. Yeah, that's why they have to leave early. Let me get the other ones.
Okay, we're gonna do one more item first and give the other team back in here. If you guys wanna take your seats. Chief, what's next? You guys ready, Mr. Neff? Yeah, we'll do the next item.
Okay, so with 9U and 6U, I believe? 6U will come back?
We'll go to the next item.
6-2? 6-2. Okay, so we did 9, faltó 6. Okay, all right, they'll let you know, and you just give me the wink. Next item, 6.2, recognition of City of Palmview Passport Acceptance Family Team. All right.
Facility. Yes, as you may recall, Mayor and council members, our acceptance facility was a concept initiated back with fiscal year 2019-2020, when challenged to bring additional services, programs, and additional revenue stream to the city. Due to COVID pandemic and turnover in proposed staffing, approval was granted in late 2021. Nevertheless, the facility began operations in March 2022, 2 fiscal years later. And in March of this coming year, we'll be celebrating 3 years in operation. So as a passport acceptance facility, certified agents provide a vital service to the Palmview community and as well as the surrounding communities. The passport services team is comprised of 4 agents. Deborah Hernandez, if I can have you come up here, Ms. Debbie. Leticia Salinas. Myself, Annette Barrera, and I also serve as the facility manager. And we have a recent addition of a highly experienced and knowledgeable agent, Norma Rodriguez, who is not able to be here, but she's a senior agent, having served as a facility manager of a well-established and highly successful program in the Rio Grande Valley. So our passport acceptance facility is one of 6 municipal facilities in the state. We are one of 4 acceptance facilities located here in the Rio Grande Valley. Other facilities comprise of county offices and post offices, and there are over 100 passport acceptance facilities in the state. In April of 2024, this year, our facility underwent our first inspection of the passport program through the U.S. Department of State, Office of the Acceptance Facility, Bureau of Consular Affairs Passport Services. And the purpose was to help improve the overall performance of the passport acceptance, application acceptance program. The inspection process encompassed the review and assessing compliance with the current passport agent reference guide for processing applications. Palmview was recently acknowledged in the Houston's Passport Agency's quarterly newsletter as having earned a perfect score during said inspection. So Palmview was one of 10 acceptance facilities that have earned a perfect score. And of those 10 facilities, 7 were here in the Rio Grande Valley. Note to highlight, other facilities have been in existence longer than our facility, and other local facilities also ranked in the next bracket, which was in the 90s, and scores in the 90s. So it's something to be proud of. Yes. And two more items are, of course, applicants are seen by appointments only, as our passport agents carry out other duties associated with our main role. To schedule an appointment, the public is encouraged to call our telephone number, dedicated number at 956-432-0319. And as a facility program manager, I am proud of our passport services team. They represent the city of Palmview in partnership with the U.S. Department of State in processing applications for this vital legal document with the utmost respect, courtesy, patience, ethics, and overall dedication towards professionalism.
Yeah, before they step down for a photo, we open the floor for any comments, and then we'll.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and start on this end over here.
I'm
Mr.
not
Gomez.
surprised. Thank you so much, Annette. The four of you now with Ms. Norma, what was her last? Rodriguez. You know, it speaks volumes of what we've done here in the past 8 years maybe, and you know, it's perfect. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that we got a perfect score on this, and that's because of you guys, and I appreciate that. I'm grateful to you guys. I'm proud to be a citizen here in this, and mostly to be serving as a council member here for the city of Palmview. Thank you so much for your commitment and your devotion to your job. Thank you so much.
Yes, I want to add to that. Annette, thank you so much for bringing the service to our city. I think that's my goal every year, is to think of and see what other services we can provide our community, and that truly and honestly, I didn't even know that was a possibility that we could offer. So the fact that you brought that and you established it, and now it has its own number, you know, and you're so good at making time for the constituents needing the service. So yeah, it's not surprising that you got a perfect score, and we really are so grateful to have you. And thank you for all you do, ladies, in supporting Ms. Annette in this initiative, and thank you. Anything we can help you with, we're here to help.
First of all, congratulations. I know that earlier this year, my wife came to get our 2 kids the passports, and no, I didn't hear any complaints or anything on the process. And now to hear that, you know, they did an audit and it came out, you know, perfect. That's really interesting to hear, and congratulations for that. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, Annette, all for the work that you guys doing and getting the community here to get all the passport they need. Thank you, appreciate it, and everything you're doing. It's good. Thank you, appreciate it. Okay.
And just one last thing is that I know that we have not pushed it on social media just because we're shorthanded, we're busy. But now that we have a 4th person, we'll go ahead and start promoting it again so that we can get more foot traffic.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I know everybody was not surprised But what surprised me was that, yeah, we're going into our third year, and y'all knocked it out of the park again. You know, Annette, you're a valuable asset to this town, and Annette worked in McAllen, by the way, the city of McAllen. She's lived in Palmview all her life, and so we picked her up as quickly as we could. And Annette, you've been a part of a lot of firsts along with us, with this commission, and Mr. Leo as well in this town. There's been a lot of firsts here in the last 4 or 5 years. And thank you for your diligence. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your alertness and for your open mind, and for bringing this to our little town. You know, this and many other things. And we could talk all night about all the things that go on in your office over there. And thank you for putting this little town where it, in a good spot. We're like that little star on top of that Christmas tree, and this is just another little bow on top of that star on the Christmas tree. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. You and your little team, and what you did was very creative, and it's very heartfelt, obviously. And you're doing the right thing. And when you're doing right, I don't care. It won't be wrong. It won't ever be wrong. So, Mr. Leo, and thank you for allowing it as well, and bringing it to us. And it's something that is helping not only our community, but constituents from around the city of Palmview. And I was thinking as she was talking, I know we've talked about bringing a big old billboard out to the front of our Main Street. Imagine those lights up there saying, hey, we also offer, for neighboring cities, we offer this as well. Our passport services. This place is going to be packed, and it's going to be a whole other department. So again, thank you for that and everything else that you're doing.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council members. Thank you for the nice comments for our team, and we appreciate that opportunity. And just wanted to mention that we did have someone come as far away as San Benito just to get processed here because of the good report. So,
Wow.
Thank
That's
you
awesome. And
again.
thank you for servicing,
everyone.
for taking care of them and servicing them, and also making a little bit of money for the city. That's awesome. So thank you all. Appreciate you all, and congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sir? 6, 9, okay, 6. 6 you. Ya se la puse.
Thank you. Mayor, City Council, this was our Palm U 6 and under All-Star team. They also had a couple of invitational tournaments. Their first one was in Alamo, and they came in first place. The second one was here in Palm U, and they came in also first place. And I think they were undefeated in both tournaments. I told him he needed to save some of the wins for upstate. Then we started the sectionals, where you had to either place or win it to advance. The sectionals were in Rio Grande City, and they came in also, they were the champions, came in first place. And I don't think they lost a game either at that time. Then they had to advance to the regionals, and the same thing, they had to either place or win it to advance to the World Series, and they came in first place. They were the champions also in the regionals. So they played 4 tournaments, they were 4 for 4. They got to the World Series in Youngsville, Louisiana, and there was 16 teams out there. 16 teams.
What was the name of the town?
And they came in the top 8 in Louisiana. Like anything else, it's hard to get there, and it's even harder to win the whole thing. But they were 3 and 2 over there. So we like to present also their awards for participating in the World Series and advancing that far. Now you might see them again when they become 8 and under. So they may be here 2 years from now. Okay, let's start with Germán Flores. Joyer Aguirre. Natalia Chapa. Mason Bueno. Josiah Guzman. Champ Enriquez. Deshaun Stone. Asiel Perez. Tito Garza. Santiago Villapando. Salvador Ábalos. Javier Guerra. Head coach Eduardo Flores. Coach Robbie Guerra. And coach who couldn't make it, Jose Villapando. So this was our 6 and under Palm U All-Star team.
He's a good one. That's why you guys won. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
guys say afterwards.
Sí, pero el otro partido. Okay. Hey, guys, you want to hold them real quick so we can talk to them? Quick. Hey, real quickly, parents, and from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you all very much. And I'm going to go ahead and we'll start it on this end. We'll go ahead and start on this end. Mr. Peña, got a few words for you kids, you players. I talked to about 3 or 4 of you, and some of you said you were pitchers and shortstops and catchers, and all that's great. So we're going to tell you all some words, and you all need to listen, okay?
So, for the kids, congratulations, guys. You guys made it to the last level, and I know you guys played awesome and did great. For the parents that basically, have to go through the energy, the money, the time, and everything to take the kids up there, hats off to you guys for all the efforts. The coaching, congratulations for making it that far. I know it's just the beginning, so fun fact, the Warsox 6U, they played in the, I think the semifinals in Rio, right? They played. And my son played with the Warsox 6U, and we just had the 9U Warsox. So, so they're rivals.
Friendly rivals.
So next step is the 8U. Or are they going to play 6U again? 7U. No, they're going up to 7U. 7U. Yeah. So now as they transition into coach pitch, it changes. But keep working hard, train hard every day, and you'll get there again to the World Series and the Pony World Series. You guys are doing Pony again? All right, there you go. Yeah, some of these kids have been playing since they were 3, 4 years old, and they've been in the Pony League. So I know a lot of these kids. I've seen them. My son has played with a few of them. So it's nice to see them all here. So congratulations, guys. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
For the players, congratulations all the kids that they play baseball. And I know you guys little guy right now, and later you're gonna be a big good player. For the coach, thank you for the effort you're doing. You're taking and the time you spend with the kids, and I know it's a lot of effort. Moms, dad, también the effort that they doing for take the kids to go play and the time also. Thank you very much, everybody, and congratulations to everybody for this season, and sígale. Thank you.
Yeah, the Chihuahuas are very well known. Y'all are a tough team to beat. I know because my son also played in that Warsox team. And my gosh, when I'm like, I walked up because we were new to that team. And when I saw y'all play, I'm like, that's not the team we're playing, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God, no, but I mean, it's just another level. Y'all are on another level. Thank you all so much for representing Palmview so well. Y'all are doing an amazing job. Parents, thank you for taking the time, the money, the effort, everything. You take, your weekends are gone, your evenings are gone. You basically, your lives revolve around this sport. So you are making endless memories. So continue doing what you do. I know you do it because the love that your child shows for this sport makes it worth it. So keep it up. Any way we can support you all, we're here to help. Thank you again, athletes, for representing our city so well. Coaches, thank you for taking the time. We really appreciate you all. And yeah, keep working hard and work to that next level, guys. Y'all are doing great. Thank you.
This is about the 8th time that I do this. And, every time it gets better. I'm so proud of all of you, the players, the parents. Thank you for taking the time to come out here and you know, help your children build their character through this wonderful sport. Baseball is a beautiful sport, and it's something that, you know, I think all boys and girls should learn how to play. Coaches, thank you so much for your commitment. You guys keep it up, and next time it's the World Series. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Mr.
And
Lugo,
finally-
I forgot to mention Mr. Lugo. Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you,
Lugo,
Mr.
for your
Lugo.
commitment. You go above and beyond, and that is why we are here today. Thank you, sir.
That's right, all right. Hey, and finally, players, thank you. Players, can y'all give me, because some of you're moving around with your well-deserved plaque, right? And you take care of that for when you're old like me, you're old, which is a long time from now. You're gonna pull that little plaque out and say, look, we were champions, and you're gonna have more plaques of those. You're gonna get more because, are you gonna lose or are you gonna win? Okay, and then you're gonna get bigger trophies as you get older. And you might end up playing in different teams as you get older. But right now, play as a team, play united. And right now, you all are in school also, right? What grade are we in? What? Second grade? First and second? First grade, okay. And y'all are okay, how many are in first? Raise your hand. First graders. Okay, put down your hands. Good job. Second graders. Third graders? Some of you look like third graders. Hey, Chihuahuas, right? The Chihuahuas. Let me tell you something. Pass your classes and listen to your teachers and listen to your coaches too. And you're more than that, listen to your parents and your grandparents. Why? Because sometimes they get after you because they hate you or because they want to make you better.
They want to make you better.
There. So I don't have to tell you. You already know that. All right? And you know what? When you pass your class and you make good grades and all that, and guess what's coming in next month? It's November. What's the next month? December. And what celebrate? Who do we celebrate? Whose birthday? Christmas. But who was born in Christmas? Well, hey, he was a little baby, and his name was a J. Jesus, the catcher, young lady got it right. So we're celebrating Jesus' birthday. So but you also get gifts, right, from Santa. So if you pass your classes, you do good, you listen to your teachers, you get A's and B's, try to get A's and B's. And sometimes it's like baseball. Sometimes you might not catch the ball, or you might not pitch it right, and don't feel like, oh, I'm the worst. No. If you make a mistake, learn from the mistake so you won't do it again. Okay? So that's my advice to you. You heard everybody talking to you all, and your coaches and your parents. So who do we need to listen to? Parents. Who else? Grandparents. How about those two people? Who are they? Our coaches and at school, and our teachers at school. And if you see something that's not right, you report it. All right? Yes, and your aunts and your uncles and everybody that you know that, and listen to the players too. Yeah,
Yeah.
All right, so hey, here in Palmview, those fields are for you all, okay? And we're gonna try to make them even nicer here next year. So when you come, you're gonna say, hey, and we're gonna try to put all your team's names on a wall over there too. So when you're older, you're gonna say, yeah, we played and we did that. We did those. You're gonna leave not on this wall, but on the wall over there in the baseball field. So parents, those of you that live in Palmview and pay taxes here in Palmview, we're gonna do a little reinvesting into that field for them. All right, and so that so that they can play better. They can play better, and it'll be aesthetically a better field for our kids. We love our kids whether they live in Palmview or not, and they represent our city. And we love you guys. God bless you all. We love you. Take care. Good luck. And be champions all the time.
We have a toy giveaway in December if y'all want to come on by. Just look out on our social media, parents, so y'all can bring the boys by. It'll be nice to have them.
Yes. All right. So thank you all. Good luck, and walk out in a line quietly with your parents. And we'll see you next year again. We're going to see you next year. Thank you.
Sí.
Es que es el mero mero, es de Santa Claus.
All right, man, that's good. They got a,
They're awesome. Mayor, Mayor.
¿Verdad? Ya aquí andan, güey, aquí están. No, pues para que ustedes lo digan. Mascando chicle y pegándose y jugando. ¿Qué? A los estos. Y estos no. Dice César. Parece que todos le tenían los ojos a ustedes, ¿no, César? Pero estos no. Yes, sir. Pero how do they get there? Is it experience? Is it what are they doing? Because it's only two guys.
Okay, now turn around. No, I don't want to see the plaque. No, nothing like that. Just stand normal. Stand normal. One. Get closer to each other. Herman. Oh my God, they're ridiculous. 1, 2, stand right, guys. 1, 2, 3. Go. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye, guys.
Ya, calmado. Sí, esto normal. Oye. Ya, acuérdate.
Okay, we are, all right. We are on to item 6.3, recognition for life-saving incident. That's by our chief.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Jose Trevino, Chief of Police. Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Just want to a little back history on this. Back in February, the agency decided to send a couple of officers, one of them being in CID, a detective, and another one being on patrol, to hostage negotiator training. So we sent them through a pretty rigorous training. They got certified, and I'd like to call up Detective Victor Villarreal. If you can stand right here, Vic. Victor is one of our detectives, and he is one of our hostage negotiators. So this incident occurred about 4 weeks ago, mid-October. Patrol responded to an address here in Palmview. Started off as just two relatives in a physical altercation. When officers arrived, it quickly escalated to where one of the gentlemen grabbed a knife, put it to his throat, and barricaded himself inside the house. He did tell the officers that he wanted to die, and he wanted to die by suicide by cop. So at that time, we had our supervisors respond. They took control of the scene, had the officers stand back. It was only him inside the residence. Detective Villarreal was called out to commence our first hostage negotiation crisis scene. Within minutes, Detective Villarreal was able to talk this individual down, put the knife down, came outside. We were able to get him the resources and the help he needed. He was going through a mental health crisis and also through a drug abuse and alcohol abuse crisis. So we got him the help that he needed. So after he got the help, about a week or two later, he actually reached out to Detective Villarreal and thanked him for saving his life that day and changing his life with the resources that we were able to provide. So I'd like to recognize Detective Victor Villarreal, who is also under the command of Lieutenant Gutierrez. And this detective and, of course, the other officer that's a hostage negotiator, they're also part of the Texas Association of Hostage Negotiators. So our agency is part of that, so we can get updated trainings, legislative updates, things of that nature. But we're also part of that, so they represent the City of Palmview Police Department through that state recognized association. So I'd like to recognize Victor Villarreal for that life-saving incident.
Wow, that's amazing. That's
Take a picture. Put you in the limelight.
Oh, Victor, would you like to share anything from that experience? I mean, I'm just curious to hear from him.
Very stressful experience, but the training really helped me out. The guy really felt connected to what I was telling him. I reminded him about his children, what he told me afterwards. It's like I was really lost in that moment, and you talking to me really made me feel like somebody wanted to listen to me. He was afraid at first with the officers. He thought that something was going to happen. Of course, because it's a high-risk situation, so we have to be ready. But I told him, look, I'm here just to talk to you. My hands are up here. And he felt connected. He came out. He trusted me, and we stayed connected ever since. We became friends on Facebook and everything. I said, if you ever need anything, I gave him my work phone. Call me directly. That you need to talk to somebody.
See.
And
That's
that's what I try
awesome.
to do with every situation I deal with. But this one was pretty, it went pretty well. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome. And perfect timing on that training, ¿verdad? You
Oh,
never
yes.
know when
Yeah.
we're gonna need something like
Yes,
that,
these
so,
trainings really, really help out, and they come out in these situations when we need them the most.
yeah.
Thank you for saving a life, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Victor.
Thanks so much.
Amazing, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. God bless you and your department chief. Yeah, could have been a lot worse. All right, next item.
Consent agenda.
Yeah, do I have a motion to go into, oh, wait, I'm sorry, consent. Consent agenda, do I have a motion to,
So moved to
accept?
approve consent agenda.
Have a motion?
7.1.
I'll second.
I have a motion, a second. Any questions? Okay, so it's just the approval of minutes, just for the record. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody, nobody opposed, so motion carries unanimous. Thank you. Next item, under new business, 8.1, discussion and possible action to accept the Operation Border Star grant. Have a motion?
So moved.
Have
I'll
a
second.
motion, have a second. Any questions? Again, just for the record, oh, go ahead, Chief.
Yes, so Border Star, it's a state-funded grant that we've been getting for several years already. This year, we were fortunate enough to get a $15,000 increase on this year for that budget. So that is a initiative to help out with a criminal interdiction, also with helping our local agencies and also our state partners like DPS and all that. So it deals more with criminal interdiction and kind of keeping it safe zone for our city.
Great.
All right, beautiful. Thank you. And any input, anybody, any other questions? Thank you you got a little raise, you got a little increase, a little bump. All right, thank you, Chief. I know you have a lot to do with a lot of those things, too.
Yes,
So for
sir.
keeping on, like I say, right? Keep on keeping on, because that's what he's doing. He's on him and on him and on him and on him and on him, and building good relationships and showing them what we're about and what we're doing. So thank you very much. Yes, sir.
No, I'm on the next item.
Okay. So had a motion, a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, motion carries unanimously. Next item, discussion and possible action on acceptance of the Operation Lone Star grant.
So moved.
Staffed by Chief, do I have a motion?
So
Do
moved.
I have a second?
Second.
A motion, a second. Go ahead, discuss.
Operation Lone Star, this is a rather new grant initiative, state-funded as well. Last year was the first year they were doing grant awardings for this. We were only one of 3 agencies in the entire valley that was awarded this grant. We applied again, recurring grant, again, submitted the documents, all the data that we needed. And once again, Palmview PD was fortunate again to be awarded now. This year, we were awarded $281,372. That's an increase of $170,000 from last year's grant procurement that we were able to get.
That's great.
That's great, that's awesome.
Awesome. So with that said, any other questions, any other input?
What are some things we can purchase with these state funds?
So some of these things, it's integrated mainly with overtime for our
Okay.
officers.
Okay.
We also are able to purchase equipment and patrol vehicles with these as well. It's almost similar to our federal grant, like Stone Garden, but except this is a state funded through the Office of the Governor.
Okay.
Awesome. So all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Motion carried unanimously. Next item, 8.3, authority to accept the fiscal year 2025 Border Star Fire Department grant in the amount of $83,650 for the ATV. Staff by Chief or
Yep.
Mr. Leo?
On Chief's behalf, again, another grant award for an ATV that'll be used in heavy terrain areas. You know, we respond to calls by the border, so this allows them to extract patients out to, to a safe spot for ambulance or other medical services. Pays for the 100% paid for by the grant.
All right, awesome. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. That's awesome. Good stuff.
83 for one ATV, or is it like multiple
heavy
ATVs?
duty.
I think it's
It's one,
Yeah.
maybe to supply it,
fully.
or like if it
I'm
needs
sure.
to be
Fully loaded, AC and
Fully
massage
loaded.
chair,
specialized.
AC heater.
Uh-huh. See, see,
Winches and things
okay,
like that.
yeah,
Special equipment.
it's awesome.
Very good.
Thank
Very
you.
cool.
Yeah, we're excited.
I can't wait to borrow weekend vehicle.
Item 8.4, discussion and possible action to approve the interlocal cooperation agreement between City of Palmview and the County of Hidalgo, Texas for the EMS services. Staff, Mr. Leo?
Mayor, this is an extension of our existing agreement with the county for ambulance services. In response to the ambulance that they gave to us, we continue to service the rural areas as well as Palmview. This is a one-year extension putting us through November of 2025.
All right, I'll make a
So
motion.
moved.
I'll second. Take your pick, Annette. Any questions? Yeah, so we're still, no boundaries didn't change. That's my
No.
only question.
Not
All right,
yet,
thank
on
you.
this one.
All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item, 8.5, discussion and possible action to accept sole response for request for proposals for CDBG DR projects. 23-152-004-E071 and 24-076-008-E195 for archaeological survey. Staff by Mr. Leo.
Mayor, this is a requirement for the two grants for the Riverside subdivision on Showers Road for Ramita subdivision and Moorfield. An archaeological survey was required. We bid it out, proposals. There was one response. Robert Kistner, GrantWorks is our grant administrator. They recommended that we approval so we can move forward in the process.
A motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
A motion, a second. Any other questions? All right, so this is part of the grant money that we received. About 3 years ago, was it?
It seems like it now, but it's been about, what, maybe a year and a half?
Year and a half?
Yeah.
Feels like 3.
It does.
Golly.
It does.
All right, so it's now
And still,
underway.
no entity out there has started their projects. They're all going through the same thing that we're going, including the county.
Riverside and over here.
Ramirez subdivision
Ramirez.
on
Okay,
South
good.
Moorfield.
Gonna help alleviate a lot of drainage issues.
Oh, it is. It's gonna be good.
All right, any other questions?
When does that survey get conducted, or?
Right away, they think they can do it, in 3 to 4 weeks. I'll get all that back to the state and hopefully go to the next phase. So we can hopefully go to construction, bidding for construction, mid-next year, early to mid-next year.
Okay.
All right, any other questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item, 8.6, discussion and possible action to accept the sole response for request for proposals for CDBG DR projects 23-152-004-E071 and 24-076-008-E195 for botany review. Is this the same thing?
Same two grants, a botany review, one sole source was CSR Environmental and Consulting LLC. GrantWorks is requesting some approval, I'm sorry.
All right, any questions? So it's all tied into the same, so we can start moving.
Yes, sir.
Moving ahead. I'll make a motion. Are there any
Second.
questions? Second. Any questions? Again, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. 8.7, discussion possible action to approve authorization number one from M2 Engineering for civil engineering services for the 10-acre tract on Marla Street.
This will allow the city engineer to complete civil engineering and site work for the development of the 10-acre tract on Marla. This includes design and coordination of essential site infrastructure, utilities, drainage, grading plans, all to support the new development. The amount would be $69,500 to be paid from CO funds.
All right,
And this was budgeted already?
From the CO funds, yes.
Okay.
all right. Any other questions in reference to this? I know that he and the architect have met, we've met here a couple of times as well to kind of iron out all the schematics and the plans, and I think the architect was about, 2 weeks ago? He was pretty much set with what we were gonna do when it came to square feet and occupancy and all that good stuff.
Yeah, now that the layout's finalized, they can work on the site work, the drainage requirements, parking requirements, and so forth, and any utilities where they're gonna run and so forth.
All right.
I so
we're-
move to
We're set. We have a motion.
I'll second.
A motion, a second. Any other questions? Those are the big ones,
Did
and I
we-
guess,
Did we move the city hall after all to the corner?
well, yeah,
Yes.
right now, it's just correct.
Sí, ¿verdad?
Yes.
Yes, to the front.
Okay.
And yes, and then as, just, the only thing I would just keep, M2 and our architect keep us as we move along with the project.
Up to
Yeah.
date.
And of course, our, whoever bids out for,
Once we get the
overseeing
project manager, we're gonna have, either monthly updates to start, and then once construction starts, bi-weekly,
There you go.
we'll move it up.
keep us in the loop.
Do we have a projected groundbreaking for it?
It was early next year, but we need to go out for bids, or for construction bids, so it may be first quarter of next year still, early next
Okay.
year still.
Okay.
All right, have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 8.8, discussion of possible action to establish a selection review committee to establish responsible for the city's request for proposals for the Disaster Recovery Reallocation Program, DRRP, staffed by Mr. Leo.
Mayor, at our last meeting, we approved of some RFPs and RFQs that we are currently in the progress of. There were leftover disaster recovery funds from the same grant that we got, 2018, 2019. There were funds left over from that. Prior disasters, 2014, 2016, leftover funds from projects that didn't use it all or didn't use it, period. And so they lost the funds, so they've opened it up, but they accelerated the timeline to move very, very quickly. So we're about to get these proposals for grant administration services, number one. The next item is for engineering services. What we need to do is establish a review committee. So the first item is for the administrative service, for the grant administrative. In the past, it was myself, Rudy Flores, and then it's up to the council what we want to do. There is a recommendation that we have at least one person from the council on that committee. For the administrative grant, we can do one council member and staff. And for the engineering service, what we've done in the past is you yourselves have been the committee, so you guys can be the committee for the engineering qualifications. But that's the second item. But this item is for the grant administration. But it's up to the council who you want to put on that committee.
I can recommend myself.
Yes, I recommend mayor.
That time,
Next time.
I'm available. Yeah. Or an alternate would be either Javier or Benito, I would recommend.
Okay. And from staff, the same?
Keep the same staff.
Okay. Rudy, myself, and then.
Put Joseph there as a substitute for Rudy.
Okay. That'll work for this one?
All right. Can we do both? 8, 9, and 8, 10?
Was on the second one, if you want to go with what's cool, we've been doing customaries, that one was all council, because those are professional services, that's the engineers. Or we can use the same committee for both, it's up to you. If you're going to use the same committee for both, then we can do both items at the same time. If you want to do council for engineering services, then it would be a separate one for the next item.
We'll go ahead and do 8.9. I would say I'm kind of jumping ahead. This is a first for us here. Where's the legal, what would you recommend?
Taking it separate.
Okay, all right, so I jump back. Okay, good, yes. So do I have a motion for 8.9? 8.8, I'm sorry? Okay, we have a motion and
I'll second.
second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. 8.9 now, discussion of possible action to establish a selection committee.
Right, for the
right,
engineering service.
To evaluate the response of the city's request for qualifications for engineering and architectural services for the disaster recovery allocation program.
So,
Go ahead.
sorry. So this is for the engineering services, the professional services. You have the option to name yourselves as a committee, as we've done, for professional services, what we have done historically is name the council as the actual committee. So you can name yourselves a committee or just revert to the prior one.
We can keep it the same.
Council. Okay. Okay, once we have those responses, we'll bring them to the council for evaluation.
All right. Is there any other discussion on this? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries
Did you get a
unanimously.
motion or second? I'm sorry.
We motion?
A
I motion to
okay,
approve.
apologize. Motion
Second.
and a second. I'll second it. Or was it you, Alana?
Javier, Mr. Ramirez.
Okay. He's got a motion. Me and then, there you go, we got it. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. 8, 10.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay.
Investment and investment earnings report as of September 30th. Sir, go ahead, Mr. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr.
There.
Resendez.
In the packet, you'll see a summary of investment earnings from our different funds. Currently, our tax pool fund is yielding us an average of 5.2%, and you'll see the breakdown of that there in front of your sheet. This does not include earnings from the CO monies that we recently received, as those have not been transferred to a tax pool account, but they will be by the end of this week. So that will significantly impact these earnings, and we're anticipating keeping at least about a 5% return on that yield. You know, barring interest rates getting further reduced, but we have a very strong position to continue to earn interest on those funds, so.
Questions?
I'm sorry, we were looking for the documentation.
The
Oh, it's behind the budget amendment. There's a form,
The one that's paperclip, huh?
yes, there's a form, the ordinance number 2024-20. At the very last part of that document, you'll see the breakdown of the investment report.
Just to recap, a few years ago, we made this decision, we went through the process of being able to do that, where rather than have the funds just sitting in an account, we were able to pull them with other entities' funds into a bigger account, which yields a bigger return, and it's been really good for us the last couple of years. You know, this quarter was 30,000, was it? 30
More or less 29 and change.
About 30,000 a quarter, that could be 120 a year, just on interest. And again, we're fortunate to be in a position where we have money in the bank to be able to put into a pool like this. Just to be in that position is pretty good.
And again,
Hey,
that does not include the
biggest.
the CO monies.
The COs.
So,
Not
so
the
right
big-
And
now,
will COs be put in
Throw it in there.
4, 9, 4, 7, 5?
so we're still getting a yield of 5.2
Take
with
it.
tax pool. So, of course, as Federal Reserve cuts rates, it will come down, but that's the average yield as of now, so
Okay, we
Rates
can't
have gone
lock it a
down.
rate, we can't.
we can lock it.
Okay, that's fine, it's good to know.
It's still good rates.
It's
Yeah,
very-
all right, everything,
It's a lot more
Good.
competitive than a money
Currently-
market account or a savings account at any bank, so.
from what we approved and what we've, a few months, what was it, in October, right, last month, we're good.
Yes.
Just keep those belts on tight, all right? And thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Regarding the amendment, or not the amendment, the budget? No amendments, nothing coming out of left field, Mike? Or right field?
The amendment's later.
Okay.
Right now, it's just the investment report. Per statute, we're required to submit to you a quarterly report, and that's what we're doing here today.
Yes,
Got it. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Sir. Okay. Discussion item here, 811, discussion and possible action regarding a resolution casting votes for Hidalgo County Appraisal District Board of Directors for the years 2025 to 2027. That's by Mr. Leo.
Mayor, this is the last process for the voting for the appraisal district. At our prior meeting, we had made nominations. These are the finalists that made the nominations. You see the list before you. The city of Palmview, based on our tax levy, we're allocated 20 votes. Benitas, for an example, they're allocated 10 votes because they have half the tax base that we do. Alton has 15, La Jolla has 5, but we have 20. So this item is before you for consideration. You can allocate all those 20 to one individual if you wanted to, which we've done in the past, or you can spread them out between all the other candidates however you see fit. So it's open for the.
Is that everybody 20 or?
It's right, for the body it's 20.
For all of us, it's 20?
This council, altogether, it's 20.
Right. Or if you wanted to give each other,
20
split it by
votes.
5 and you get 4 each,
From
you
all
could
of
do 4, but it's.
Amador, everybody okay with Mr. Becanes? All right.
That's who we nominated last time, right?
The person that we want to give the 20
All
votes.
20 votes to, yes.
Okay.
I so move to award the 20 votes to Amador Requenes.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any questions? I think we're all good and in line. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. All right, thank you. And let's hope they don't keep raising the cost of our homes as well. I know Mr. Becanes is a very frugal man. He's not about, he's good about keeping budgets tight. I think we need to express that. I know that when the appraisal value hits, a lot of people think it's the city, that it's us raising them, and it's not, just for the record. But however, we can appeal. You can appeal to the county, to the appraisal's office, when you feel that it's not fair. So, just for the record, you have that authority from our county. Next item.
Wait to vote now? Did we
Wait,
vote?
hold on. Okay, so, hold on.
No, we voted
Yeah.
already?
Yeah, but
Do we need to fill this
Anything
one
else that
out?
we need?
Did-
The paper?
Oh, did we vote though?
Do we need to put 4 votes each?
Have the mayor, the number of votes and sign.
Okay.
As well as the
We're-
resolution that's required.
Got it. We had a motion, a second,
And we voted.
voted. We're good, we're good.
okay,
We
my bad.
forgot.
Next item. I believe we're on 8:12?
11.
12?
Oh, yes.
Discussion and possible action on selecting banking institutions for depository services for City of Palmview, staffed by our finance department.
Yes, Mayor and Council, once again, if you recall, some time ago, we did go out for RFP for banking and depository services. We did have one lone respondent. We did reach out to a couple of other institutions to get their RFP documents in. We did receive 2 additional responses, one from Rio Bank and one from Frost Bank as well. You have those binders in front of you. We received very large packets from each of these institutions. I've summarized the key points in this table for your quick review, which is titled Bank Depository Services Comparison. So notably, one item that really I think is a make or break decision is on fees, monthly fees, service fees. Lone Star National Bank and Rio Bank are waiving all fees associated with maintaining the account. Frost Bank, however, is not. We would be on an account analysis fee schedule, which basically they would take into account how many transactions we run every month, our activity, and then assess a fee based on that. Lone Star National Bank does have a dedicated public funds department. Rio Bank does not. Frost Bank does. All 3 offer interest-bearing checking accounts, which is standard. And Lone Star National Bank and Rio Bank are offering complimentary checking accounts to all city employees as part of us maintaining the relationship with them. So,
What does the dedicated public funds department do? Like, how does that
so
benefit us?
that means that we actually have a public funds representative assigned to our account. So they would be our main point of contact for anything account related, adding signers, removing signers, maintaining the accounts, doing transfers. If we ever have to move funds between accounts, we would just have to reach out to them, and they would facilitate all that.
Okay.
So it seems like Lone Star would have the best.
Right now, our current practice has been, with the local banks, the 2 that have a local presence, and state has preference in that you have to give deference or first, consideration to local. If you don't have any local banks, then you open it up. We have half of our accounts about more or less with Rio Bank and about another half with Lone Star. And we've had those for a while now, and that's the way it's structured right
Been
now.
pretty fair with both.
Yeah, we can just keep it the same, basically.
Okay, so, and can we do that, half and half?
Yeah, just keep it the
We
same. That way
can
we
do
don't have to move accounts,
Yeah.
change accounts.
Yeah.
All right, so I make a recommendation to keep half and half like we have for the past few years with both Lone Star and Rio Bank.
That's your motion?
I have a motion. Is that
I'll second.
accurate enough?
Second.
Have a motion.
Or what's the recommendation?
So we've had very good experiences with both Rio Bank and Lone Star National Bank. The only suggestion the finance team would like to make is possibly sometime in the future, open up a solid waste account at Lone Star National Bank, since there's going to be numerous transfers between solid waste and the general fund
At Lone Star, you said?
at Lone Star.
And Rio?
So we have our general fund at Lone Star National Bank
Okay,
and
got
our
it.
solid waste fund at Rio Bank currently.
Oh.
So when we make transfers between those 2 accounts, we have to write the other fund a check.
Got it.
Right.
You wanted to
Got it.
consolidate, bring it
So
over
we need to
Lone
open
Star.
one in Lone Star. so
That would
we
be the
can have-
preference. It's
Okay.
not a deal breaker, it's not a huge impact to us, except that when we write a check to the other account, we have to wait 1 day for it to clear.
So can I recant my motion?
I
Or-
think
If there's already a motion and a second, it would have to die. You would say, I take a vote, and if it dies,
It-
then you take another.
But I think it's still, I think it still works the way it is, because what we're gonna have to do when the time comes to open the new account is we're gonna have to come to you guys anyway, so you can dedicate signers to that new bank
Yeah,
account.
that would be a separate
At
item.
that time.
That would be the time to do
That would
it.
be the time to say, that will be what
Let's
loans.
do that then. That's why you said near future.
Yes. Mhm.
Beautiful, thank you. Motion and a second, and with the recommendation when the time comes, and we'll wait till
Yes.
then. All right, good question. Good question. So we had a motion, a second, to keep as, right? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries unanimously, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for making it simple
you,
to
Art.
read.
Eight. 813, approval for the 2024 tax roll totals as provided by Mr. Leo, City Manager, Hidalgo
Mayor,
County.
In accordance with the Texas Property Tax Code, the tax assessor has submitted the official tax roll to us now. These are certified and per statute, it's now on this council to approve that. It didn't change much through all the hearings that were going on through as people were disputing those values. There's still some left in dispute that need to be covered. But the total market value in Palmview is $954,398,651. So almost $1 billion in market value. There are exemptions, so the taxable value is $828 million. At our tax levy, that generates about $4,719,741. That's what we use to our budget. We budget about 90%, 92%. 92% is the collection rate. It's over historically over the last 5 years, actually. So everything's in line, and this is just to be in accordance with the tax code.
So it is an action item.
Yes, sir.
I so move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Thank you. All in favor, any questions? Hold on. Any questions aside from that? Okay, good, great. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 8.14, discussion and possible action on adoption of prohibited technology security policy. Staff by HR.
Mayor, on this one, the Texas Legislature made a change at their last session that prohibits the use of TikTok and certain social media applications on devices that are owned by governmental entities. So to be in accordance with that statute and the requirements, there was a policy that was put out that we could model ours to. This one has been modeled. Jerry worked on it. Ms. Yvonne finished it up. So it's been reviewed by staff, and now we're submitting it to council for approval.
All right, sure, we're gonna add it. So no TikToking going on?
Yeah, and we did consult with Mario and IT as well.
What about YouTubing?
YouTube wasn't on the list.
YouTube teaches you a lot.
Yes, it does. All right, any questions? All right, so do I have a motion?
I motion to approve.
All right, that motion, I'll second. Any, again, questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, discussion and possible action to schedule a joint workshop with the City of Palmview and PMDD. Staffed by Mr. Leo. I think we need a date.
Yes, per bylaws, the MDD has to come submit an annual report to you guys. The MDD board talked about it. They would like to do it in a workshop setting so it can be very back and forth and input, sharing ideas, a workshop setting. So this is just as, the council wants to accept that and then start talking about dates, or we'll get with Annette to coordinate dates. It could be a weekday at 6 o'clock when we don't have council or MDD meetings. I don't know if we could squeeze it in lunch, because it'd probably be, anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, an hour, good
And
hour.
then before or after Thanksgiving?
That's
Before Christmas, Christmas.
first week
Okay.
of December, maybe.
Okay, so, sure, I'll go ahead and make a motion to accept, right?
I'll second.
Go ahead and begin looking
That'll work,
into it.
that'll work.
All right, have a second?
I'll second.
Have a second. Questions? Anybody have any input, any questions?
Will
Okay.
this be like a city meeting type, or it's gonna be like on a weekend or a
It'll-
separate day from a
We'll
meeting?
probably look at a weeknight, like a 6 o'clock thing, where when we don't have PMDD and
Okay.
city meetings.
Okay.
Okay.
But it'll be in a workshop setting.
Okay.
And something okay, if we have ideas or suggestions, I know it's just it's more like joint work, what's going on here, and
Yes.
where we meet in the middle.
Yes, the MDD will formally present what they've been doing over the last year. I'm sure some of you are on that board, and some of you have seen the initiatives that the MDD has started with the Made in Palmview campaign, with the business highlighting, with the ribbon cuttings, and now they're looking at, some network events or social events. So just a kind of a year-end review that they would, like to formally present. And again, it's an opportunity for city to give your feedback as well, what you would like to see on the MDD side. the city is giving the MDD about $10,000 a year to help, promote the businesses as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I'm gonna, yeah, you said it, I didn't have to, you did a good job of explaining it.
Oh, tape.
Oh, change the,
So we've made motion and second, we discussed, we had answers and a couple of, some input. And if there's any input that comes up, and go ahead, but.
Can we take the vote before? Do we have time, or is it like last minute?
Okay, so all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, which carries unanimously. Hey, so if y'all have ideas, like from now till then, hey, we this or we that, we can add it in,
Be a great opportunity.
yes.
I still think we need to invest in a neon key outside of our city offices.
Ahí le vamos a aventar esa. El neon P, where
Oh.
here?
Para que se mire del expressway.
Deja tú, deja cuando pongamos el, un
The
sign
digital?
allá, como una, un digital sign.
Ah, ya, the
Como el que
marquee.
está acá, un digital como el que está acá que vienes entrando.
Sí.
¿Verdad? Aquí en la entrada de Main Street, que vamos a poner uno about the size of that wall, huge up there, and we can promote all kinds of everything.
Pues, y las
Yeah,
palmas se
welcome,
ven muertas. Are they dead? They're dead, right? How much did we pay for that?
free.
The ones that are on Main Street,
Yeah.
were donated.
Oh, okay, okay, I feel a little better. But yeah, we might need to replant some new ones that
Because we need an irrigation system
it
for
looks
water.
very descuidado.
The three-sided, the one on Cherry,
What?
the one Bird Ogden has on the corner of
Oh,
Cherry.
the triangle.
Ours is gonna,
Triangle.
ours will be kind of like, just like those digital billboard signs that are in McAllen, Mission. The one right here as you come into Palm View. And then we can put like, events, what we can,
Sí.
we can even, we'll talk about it. All right, so we're back from we had a little technical, not difficulties, but just technicalities that we have to take care of and to keep on with the meeting. Item 16, discussion possible action regarding an interlocal agreement with the County of Hidalgo Urban County Program for fiscal year 24-25 Community Development Block Grant, staffed by our planning department.
Mayor, Council, so this is the yearly interlocal that we have with the Hidalgo County Urban County Program that sets out the understandings for them to provide the expenditures of the CDBG funds for us.
I so move to approve.
Motion,
I'll
second.
second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Rudy, and thank you for your diligence, Rudy, as well.
Mayor, for item 817, we can pass on that item. We're going to have another discussion regarding other matters in executive. We're not going to discuss this one in executive. There's some other ones that are related to other issues, so we want to have that discussion first before we take this item, so we can just pass on that item. And-
817,
Yes.
okay?
And then if we go on to item 818, item 818, we'd ask if you take it to executive, you need to have some discussions with your attorney, with legal counsel.
I motion to move 8.18 to executive session.
All right. We have, motion and second. Questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay. Monthly department updates. Any department updates that need to be addressed?
Just some quick highlights on the finance department. You'll see the check registers on there. I know some of you have been asking about that check register. We've been pushing for financial transparency. So you will see the October check register as well as the fiscal year that just ended in September, the year complete in October. So once we're done with this meeting, finance will circle back to put that online and accessible to the public. Again, going to financial transparency. For the fire department, 313 calls last month, 258 for medical, and 7 calls transferred due to no ambulance available. We have that third ambulance that's going into shift, so we're trying to minimize those calls or to be able to provide the service as quickly as possible. The municipal library, 388 visitors in the last month, 29 events with 239 attendants. And I was like, is that in 1 month? And I had to go back and look at the list, and sure enough, 29 events in 1 month. That's almost on average of one a day.
That calendar's always full. I love to
I was
see
like,
it. Yes.
Good job.
You're
Thank
bringing
you,
our
sir.
library to
Yeah.
life. I love it.
huge, huge, got good stuff for the library. Been doing a lot of good things. I think,
We might have to move them.
we might have to do something there with the library.
We'll discuss
We
that.
can discuss that at a later, here in the near future. Right.
And those are just some highlights. Again, the packets are here, and we have some department heads available if anybody has any
You
questions.
heard the baseball team, and
Oh, yeah.
we heard over here what Ms. Villarreal's doing over here too. So,
Mm-hmm,
any other questions in reference to departments, commission? All right, move on to next, make sure that I'm on track here. So, at 7:31, we're going to reside into executive session, and we will be back shortly. Do I have I usually, yeah, I have a motion to go into executive session?
I make a motion to go into executive session.
A motion?
second.
And a second. So we will be, again, residing into executive session at 7:31 PM, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you.